Hello, sports card friends. It is another day, another sports card video to kick off the week. We're back with another prices dropping video. Got an overwhelming response last week from the videos we did on football cards, and I promised, hey, we're going to do the same thing for baseball. We'll probably do a part 1 today and maybe a part 2 coming up soon. Picked 5 cards, one starting from the 80s going all the way through to modern day to see what's up. If you're new here, you're looking for both short form like this, kind of the 8 to 12 minute videos, as well as long form content from interviews and live streams, you've come to the right place. We are here for you, my friends. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, the big red button down below.
Yes, exactly.
And we will keep the hits coming. All right, I'm going to start with a card that actually I just purchased myself the last week. An 86 Topps Traded Barry Bonds, number 11T and a PSA 10. This is a card that I've always really enjoyed from childhood. It's one that I never had because it actually was an expensive card in 89, 90 in raw form, of course, but never did own it. PSA 10s are fairly plentiful. I got mine for $265. I believe it was about a week ago now. There's a recent sale here at $325. If we're looking at the 2-year look back. So 2-year look back, and I'm going to kind of explain how I'm going to do this. This is down 34% approximately from 2 years ago. This is post all-time highs. So for those that are like, yeah, but this is coming off the all-time high sales, I'll share what the all-time high is as well as a 5-year look back on some data so we can get kind of the full picture of this thing. All right, so 2 years ago, $495 $500 card. Now, about $325. I got one for $265. They probably range anywhere, I would say, probably from $250 to $325, $350 as of the last couple of weeks. All-time high for this card going back to 2021 was $910. And the 5-year look back on this one, if you can believe it, $85 to $90. Population is over 4,000 for these, so it's not a rare card at all. This is the base version. It's not the Tiffany, the glossy Tiffany, far more rare and far more expensive, frankly. So this is just that base card. But for me, in my price range, I wanted to get a 10 grade for this card for, I believe, the best hitter of my generation the last 30 years. I don't think there's been anyone better than Barry Bonds. Even before taking PEDs, he was an absolute monster. All right, before we move on to the next card, big shout out to today's video sponsor, COMC.com, your home for buying, selling, and flipping all the hottest trading cards. Their consignment marketplace now home to over 30 million cards from baseball superstars like Aaron Judge to Marvel favorites like Spider-Man. COMC has something for every type of collector. Visit COMC.com today to build out your collection with your favorite cards. COMC, it is a good time, guys. Check it out. I'll have a link in the video description as well as pinned in the comment section. All right, next up, we've got another popular baseball card, 1993 SP rookie Derek Jeter. I chose the PSA 8 just because they are plentiful. There are a lot of sales. If you get into the 9s and the 10s, less so, and the price points are way higher. So looking to be kind of in a price point where everybody can get involved, basically. All right, so if we go 2 years ago, $1,100 for this card. It now sits at $390, $400, about a 64% drop from 2 years ago. Now, if we look at the all-time price, all-time high, this thing actually got up. There's a sale at $2,100, which is a mammoth price for this card in a PSA 8, keep in mind. 5-year look back, $270 to $280, which I thought was interesting because pushback is, well, hey, look, I mean, these cards are still like double, triple what they were if you go back 5 years. This is an example of a card that, yes, it is higher than it was 5 years ago, going back to 2018, but not a whole lot higher. It is, I mean, it's $380, $390, $400. It was $270, $280 going back 5 years. So that one is a little bit closer in price point. All right, I had requests for the next card, the 2011 Topps Update Mike Trout rookie card in a PSA 10. Very, very popular card in the baseball card community. Arguably the best player in baseball, Mike Trout. 2 years ago, this card got as high as $4,491. All-time high in 2021, $6,365 for this one. It now sits, a recent sale, at $1,699. That is a negative 62% thumped on this card. 5-year look back, $500-600. So yeah, if you were buying these $500-600, 5 years ago, Yes, you are still doing fine on this card, but man, talk about a wild swing. 500 to 600 5 years ago, got all the way up to about $6,000. Now we're back down to 16, 1700 bucks. We'll have to see. What do you think for this card in particular? I know for the baseball card fans out there, do you like this price at $16, $1,700? Do you think it's still too high? What is your take on the Mike Trout rookie card, the Topps update? All right, next we've got a more ultra modern prospect, 2018 Topps update 1 Soto, batting in a PSA 10. This is the number US 300. Popular card and affordable card as well for the average baseball card collector. 2 years ago, $290,300. All-time high sitting at 354 bucks. They are plentiful. Pop is 22,000 plus for this card, so kind of similar to a Prism base basketball card, Zion or a Luka. You know, high pop 20,000 plus. 5-year look back, $40 to $45. It now sits at about $50. But from 2 years ago, that's down 82%. And then, of course, if you go off the all-time high, it's probably down 90, 95%. This card has come way, way down from the all-time highs. Last but certainly not least, another prospect here, 2019 Bowman WonderFranco number 100 and a PSA 10. This is the Bowman Chrome version. It now sits about 65, 70 bucks for the card. 2 years ago, it got all the way up to 248, 250 bucks. All-time high, $327. There's not really much of a 5-year look back because it's too new of a card, but April 2020 is when the first graded copies were sold at 50 to 55 bucks. You have to keep in mind, too, the population a lot lower, obviously, back then. That's when the first ones were selling. April 2020, 50 to 55 bucks. They now sit at $69, $70 or so, down 72%. From 2 years back, and even higher if we're going off of the all-time highs. So interesting stuff here with baseball cards. I purposely pick kind of the 80s and forward, as I mentioned with the other videos, because if you start going back to 70s, you can maybe get some of the 70s cards in there, but 50s and 60s, you get into the vintage stuff, it's all about eye appeal. The grades are, you can have a 4 that looks better than a 6, and those price points can be all over the place based on how those cards actually look and the collectors that are looking for certain things. They might favor centering, or they might favor surface, or whatever. So sticking with more of the modern stuff, the 80s and forward, because there's also a lot of transactions. That's another issue with sports cards. Typically not lots of volume and sales, so we're doing our best to pick cards that are more highly transacted. If you want other cards, if there's other cards you'd like me to compare against, please put them in the comment section below for future videos. There will be a part 2 to this video, so put your suggestions down below and I'll do my best there. And we will also do the same for basketball cards. So throw your suggestions down below, my friends. Again, I hope that you have an amazing week ahead. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.